Hello, this is LUCIA ARDEN. This is an emergency. I I asked in 2012 to set up the offices, to look at the offices in our country and the government because there was so much crime. That was way in 2012. And then, but I did say to always put the American people first and justice first. In my book, Arise to God's Truth in 2020, there's 4 pillars of power of truth, and that's peace, justice, reconciliation, which is restructuring and restoration, which we're doing now, but it has forward building in success and compassion and love. And that's justice. Hence, as I told you, I believe in President Trump. However, he knows I tell how I feel, but I tell with facts. I tell with facts as much as information I know. Okay, that I know that is shown. But we need to make sure that Social Security is filled with the elderly people. I worked for 20 years in the medical practice. For 20 years with the elderly people. The elderly people are the ones that made our road, paved our road in America. Number one. And also the children, and also any other Social Security needs. And you cannot fire those Social Security people, and you cannot take Social Security away. And anyways, people pay into Social Security, and that's what pays the Social Security. And then we need to look at the billionaires. How do they get taxed with Social Security? They need to not take Social Security when they have a certain amount of money, or do they? What is the laws? We need to protect the people and not close up Social Security. That's like taking all the money that you made, and it's taken away from you when you need the money. You know, when you're an elderly. Do you understand? People have different positions in life. There's leaders that protect the people. It's in Daniel 4. It doesn't have anything to do with me. There has to be a good leader, Nebuchadnezzar of Cyrus, and that's what you're supposed to be, President Trump and Elon Musk and myself. And I'm responsible to tell you, and to tell you that these people are good enough people. They're good people. That's what I said before. And that Social Security needs to be taken care of right away. And if you don't do it, there'll be contraindications, okay? And I believe our country is doing excellent if you come back and rehire those people, not fire the people, and make sure you clean up the information that you were trying to fire all the people and shut all these offices out. I understand if there's crimes, there's blatant crimes, and if people need education and training, train them, but don't fire them. Because what are you going to do? You're going to take Social Security away. There's not going to be any jobs for them to have for Social Security. And then there's going to be chaos for all the people, and you'll have a revolution. You will. If you do that, it's not right. And I'll get to that about what's going to happen. If you fire too many people, who's going to pay for their unemployment, honey? Who's going to pay the unemployment? And then it's better to have, you know better. You all big billionaires, they have a lot of employees. The more employees you have and a good early employee, they make money, they make production. So don't fire the people. Keep the people and retrain and replace them and get them. There's so many jobs, just like I said, the infrastructure. I see in what state they're going to fix all the sewage, and that's what we should do. In every state, we need to fix the sewage issues, the water issues, the electricity issues, the gas issues, the schools. This has to be done. This has to be done. And I told you before. And that's why when I went to Texas, to Arizona, and I made a song about, I got the golf balls. I got the golf balls. You don't got the balls? Because I spit out like this and spoke in a very lovely area in Rancho Mignana. I was called to go there, and I would sing songs and speak out to the people. And I got in a lot of trouble for it because they weren't making sure things were done. But let's listen to this gentleman, my brother.
They're honest and caring people.
They're honest and caring people.
That's why I do not understand why you would relegate this committee to no longer being of significance and resort to saying you will do whatever Elon Musk and Donald Trump tell you to do.
That's wrong. That's wrong. That is not justice. We know that. We have to delegate and come into the meeting place. We know that's wrong, okay? We know that's common sense. It's not even I'm trying to be biased. We have to look, is it best justice for the people? We know we have to clean up the offices. We know we have to clean the offices up. But you don't fire the people. You don't shut out all these offices and just close them up. It's not like putting a rocket ship in the air and you have a handful of high-tech people that have the latest education. And you don't have any contraindications of it doesn't fly up in the air. Okay? Only that you have to make the rocket ship. It's not billions of people that are involved and millions of people that are involved. It's different. There's contraindications. I already went over this, but you have to listen. This is divine command. Not only is it common sense, just like you said, brothers, you're my brothers. Come on. It's not only it's a common sense, it's integrity in taking care of the needs of the people.
Where's the independence of the committee? Where's the legislature? We're an equal branch of government. And you start off with a blather, and yet we look at the empty seats here. Where's Elon Musk? I'm sure he's a genius.
And he is a genius. And we needed him to help us. But it needs to be done properly, and you have to listen. I'm the one that asked him to come in, LUCIA Arden. But I was supposed to be directly on the team, and they didn't put me on the team directly. You could see my work. I'm the one that's do the negotiation ideas of the war, of no war, no force, but trade between minerals and commodities and land easements and peace. I'm the one that said to look at the office. I'm the one that said the geopolitical issues. But I believe that our country could be better than ever. And I believe, and I agree with President Trump. I agree with President Trump that our country is just in a transition period. And it might take months and a couple months for some offices and some issues and a couple of years until we get back and bring our jobs and our energy force and find our minerals and commodities and also small, large businesses and bring new education to our children and bring our companies back to America. There's many jobs. I've traveled the states. Every state that I went to, it needs work. All the country areas, there's many dilapidated things that need to be fixed. There's many homes. There's many buildings that are dilapidated that need to be restructured. There's so many works that need to be done alone that we could make jobs. So if you're concerned about firing these people and concerned about money, about the Social Security, you're going to be getting money from tariffs, which I agree. There should be certain amount of money on tariffs. And I agree because there's also a way to look at it that in 2016, when I wrote my first book, Our Need to Give to the World, which is right here, that the Jews owned about 60% of America. There's my first book here, Our Need to Give to the World, and this is in 2019. This talks about everything that we need to do. That we need to understand that you need to come together to realize that we are an America that are going to correct our America, but we have to have respect. You have to tell the truth. You can't monetize everything because monetizing in quantity doesn't always come out to be the best quality. It's just like the high-rise building when that man told you, do not build those high-rise buildings to become obsolete. And then you're going to switch all the money to one side. Okay? You're going to switch all the money to one side, and the middle class will be less, in the lower middle class will be less. and many people will suffer. Why should they suffer? They plan the path of your America, honey. Please listen, all of you. Listen, we need to protect Social Security for those people in the writings, because remember, I'm just independent. And so I see what's on the news, but I thought that we already solved that issue. But we need to come to the table. We cannot have chaos. But when there's problems, when you have to solve, when there's offices, and when you have to find crime, and you have to get into situations and look at some LUCIA ARDEN,